Nostradamus predicted only 6 zodiac signs will receive 10 million in 2026. When Nostradamus wrote down his boldest prophecies, he left a special sign, a warning about a year of unprecedented enrichment. In 2026, only 6 zodiac signs will enter a phase of financial breakthrough, where the sum of 10 million will become not a dream, but a reality. This is not a coincidence or a gift of fate. It is a point where inner strength, energy, momentum, and the deep processes of fate will converge at one decisive moment. Those who find themselves on this select list will feel their opportunities grow dramatically. Resources will open up where there was previously a dead end, and events will unfold as if someone invisible is pushing them toward financial triumph. Today, I will talk about these 6 chosen signs as clearly and specifically as possible. Before we begin, write your zodiac sign in the comments and check if you are among those whom Nostradamus called the golden chosen ones. Subscribe so you don't miss the continuation, because this information opens the door to understanding your true financial potential. Aries. The first sign for Aries will be a change in their internal rhythm, when they suddenly feel that each step is being amplified by an invisible force aimed at a material breakthrough. They will notice that their usual actions will begin to bring completely different results. Contacts that have been useless for years will suddenly become active. People with whom they have not communicated for a long time will get in touch at the right moment. Decisions made impulsively will turn out to be accurate and timely. All this will become the foundation for Aries to embark on a path that opens up access to unexpected wealth, measured not just in high incomes, but in figures reaching tens of millions. They will have to act decisively but thoughtfully, not allowing external influences to slow down their own momentum. The first signs of a financial breakthrough will appear in an area that previously seemed secondary. Aries will see that a new resource is forming where they least expected it. It could be a project that was once postponed due to lack of time, or an idea that they considered too bold to implement. Its return will be a key turning point. As Aries begins to focus on this area, new opportunities will appear, one after another, without repetition, but with a clear logic of growth. Expanding contacts, access to investments, strengthening authority in the professional sphere, all this will work as a single system aimed at accumulating much more capital than they could have imagined. Another factor will be the strengthening of competitive advantage. Aries is capable of maintaining a high pace, and it is this pace that will be decisive. Situations will open up for him where most people would not risk acting, but he will do so and win. Where others will hesitate, he will see a course of action. Where others retreat, he will move forward. This will not be a vague gamble, it will be a precise calculation, supported by inner confidence based on years of Babson experience. His courage will become a commodity for which the world will pay generously. The financial trajectory of Aries will consist of 3 key stages. The first is the moment when offers with the potential for significant profit begin to appear around him. They will all be diverse, but they will have one thing in common. They will require a quick response. The second is a stage of active action, when he will begin to participate in several areas at once, without losing control of any of them. It is then that the most powerful increase in financial flow will occur. The third is the moment when the system he has created begins to work autonomously, generating income regardless of his participation. It is at this stage that access to the sum of 10 million will appear. His ability to direct energy not into struggle but into scaling will play a special role. It is important for Aries to stop perceiving any obstacle as a challenge that needs to be attacked. During this period, they will be able to achieve more through strategy rather than tension. Instead of wasting energy on proving themselves right, they will begin to act in terms of resources, choosing the right contacts, optimizing processes, and speeding up decision-making. This transition from attack to controlled sprint will be decisive. No less important will be the transformation in his attitude toward money. Aries will cease to perceive finance as a tool for survival or compensation for effort. He will begin to see it as a tool for influence, development, and expansion of his own space. At this point, money will cease to be something external. It will become the logical result of his decisions. Such a change in the internal paradigm will strengthen the flow because they will stop holding it back with doubts. A huge breakthrough may occur where Aries demonstrates the ability to make unconventional decisions. This will not be improvisation, but the ability to see solutions where others give him silly problems. It is on the basis of this thinking that they will be able to attract partners, investors, or gain access to previously closed opportunities. Their straightforwardness, which previously could have made it difficult to maintain long-term business relationships, will become a strength during this period, as it will guarantee transparency of intentions and clarity of positions. It is to be expected that at some point, there will be a feeling of tension around Aries. This will not be a problem. It will be a sign that the system is approaching a breakthrough point. It is then important not to slow down, not to doubt the correctness of the chosen direction, and not to allow yourself to react to trifles. He will see that the closer he gets to a big result, the more distractions will arise around him. This is a natural reaction of the environment to a force that is forming a new scale. The peak of Aries' financial success will be associated with a situation where he will have to choose between security and potential. And this is where they will show their true nature, the ability to choose a path that opens up tremendous growth. This decision will lead them to a sum that exceeds all expectations. When others suffer losses, Aries will be able to see an opportunity, and thanks to this, their financial flow will reach a level that was considered unattainable. The final stage will be the realization that what has been achieved is not a coincidence. Aries' success is the result of consistent decisions, the ability to invest in the right areas, focus on the main thing, not lose initiative, and act where most people stop. His path to 10 million will not be similar to any foreign schemes or classic examples. They will create their own model that is capable of working in the long term. And this is what will ensure a complete transition to the material level, which will become the foundation for all future development. Taurus. At the beginning of the new cycle, Taurus will have a feeling of change that cannot be ignored. External events will begin to line up in a clear line, and the internal state will acquire an unusual tension, similar to the anticipation of the destruction of old boundaries. It is this tension that will be the first sign of his future breakthrough, which will require not strength, but determination, not caution, but precise direction. In January, he will notice that everything that used to move slowly will suddenly accelerate, as if someone had removed invisible barriers. In February, opportunities will arise that will seem too ambitious, but they will open the way to the sum that will determine his future material status. In March, he will realize that a period has begun when money is not subject to effort, but to a deep inner readiness. The key moment will be Taurus's ability to grasp the shift in the financial space. They will begin to receive information that is clearer than ever, and every detail will hint at the direction where their main resource is hidden. All events, from minor ones in interactions with partners to major ones in the professional sphere, will work toward one goal: to form a material platform worth tens of millions for them. Where others see earnings, Taurus will see capitalization. Where others hesitate, he will be able to seize the right moment and act with precision. His strategic thinking will become a tool that will open up access to a sum that will be a turning point in his life. In April, there will be a significant internal breakthrough. Taurus will realize that they can no longer operate within the constraints that once helped them, but now only hold them back. They will begin to get rid of unnecessary obligations, cut back on what does not bring results, and redirect their energy to areas that can provide large-scale growth. Their decisions will become tougher but fair. They will clearly determine which ties to let go of and which to strengthen. It is during this period that they will receive the first major financial signal, not the result itself, but an event that will show that the path chosen is the right one. In May, a person or structure will appear in his life that will offer a format of cooperation unlike anything before. At first, it will seem risky, as it will require actions that are not typical of Taurus's usual behavior. But it is this interaction that will open the door to a significant expansion of financial flows. He will begin to work with information that is usually unavailable to the general public, and this information will become the entry point into a large-scale money movement. In June, the first result will appear, small but important, because it will show the right dynamics. In July, Taurus will face a challenge. The environment will begin to pressure them, suggesting a return to a stable, familiar format of action. This is where it is important that they no longer waver. Their inner position will become stronger. They will act not out of caution, but out of a conscious understanding that they are heading for a large sum that will change their material system forever. In August, they will see that the capital that previously came in slowly is beginning to increase exponentially. The movement will accelerate, and every action will bring financial growth. September will be the moment of maximum concentration. It is then that Taurus will enter the most vibrant period of material growth. He will begin to control not one direction, but several at once, each of which will bring income. His ability to structure information and make decisions will become unmatched. They will be able to choose the optimal route where others would get lost in chaos. In October, they will gain access to a key deal or opportunity that will lay the foundation for a $10 million breakthrough. This will not be a coincidence, but a natural result of their previous decisions. November will be a month of consolidating positions. Taurus will see that his financial system no longer needs external approval. He will begin to act independently, without being guided by the opinions of others. During this period, he will make a decision that will require courage, but it will become the basis for his future financial stability. His influence in the professional sphere will grow, and this will open up even broader financial opportunities. In December, they will reach the threshold beyond which a completely different level of prosperity begins. The breakthrough will come when they realize that their main resource is not tools, but their strategic thinking. Taurus will be able to direct their potential in such a way that even small changes will bring them big profits. They will say that the financial flow has begun to work autonomously, and this moment will become the basis for reaching a sum that previously seemed too distant. Over time, it will become clear that their material breakthrough is the result of a precise combination of intelligence, determination, and the ability to act when most people stop. Taurus's financial success in 2026 will be built on consistency and the ability to follow through on decisions. They will use every chance, every contact, every opportunity that comes their way. His ability to structure, analyze, and predict will become a key strength, and 10 million will not be a surprise, but a natural consequence of a correctly chosen trajectory. Taurus will rise to a level where material stability will not just be important, but will have strategic power that will determine his further development. Gemini. In the early days of the new financial cycle, Gemini will feel an inexplicable urge to act faster than usual, as if the outside world will begin to demand decisions that will open up a completely different level of material influence for them. This feeling will not be chaotic. On the contrary, it will manifest itself as inner clarity, which will appear as early as January, when the usual plans suddenly cease to seem sufficient. In February, they will realize that their potential no longer fits into the old framework, and therefore events around them will begin to change in order to prepare the ground for a breakthrough whose scale they could not even imagine. In their interactions with people in March, they will notice that their words have gained weight, and each phrase opens new doors, not random ones, but strategically necessary ones. In April, Gemini will receive their first clear financial signal. An opportunity will come their way that will require a lightning-fast response. This opportunity will not be like the usual offers. It will force them to go beyond the standard patterns. This is where their key advantage will come into play: the ability to think in many ways and act not according to a template, but according to intuitive logic, which always leads them to the right result. Many will not be able to see the potential hidden behind this offer, but Gemini will. And it is this decision that will trigger financial flows in their lives that will quickly begin to multiply. In May, an event will take place that will strengthen their status in the professional sphere. Gemini will gain a completely new business position, or access to information that is not usually available to the public. This information will become a point of entry into a system that moves in large financial circles. In June, they will feel that their actions have begun to generate income from several directions at once. Progress will be so dynamic that Gemini will realize that this is only the beginning of a material rise that will reach a sum corresponding to the scale of 10 million in the future. July will be a month of rapid intensification. During this period, Gemini will change their strategy and begin to act not according to the principle of many tasks, but according to the principle of one step, maximum result. Thanks to this, their financial path will begin to level out into a clear line, where each decision will open up the next step. It is then that an acquaintance or partnership will appear in their lives that will become a turning point. This interaction will not be accidental. It will become the basis for the twins' entry into a large-scale project that will begin to generate income on an industrial scale. In August, Gemini will have the opportunity to invest or expand their influence in a specific professional field. This decision will require them to be strategic, analyze things calmly, and be able to cut out unnecessary emotions. Their strength will show in their ability to look at the situation from 3 or 4 different angles, choosing the path that gives the highest financial return. And this decision will be one of the most profitable of the entire year. September will bring a moment of maximum tension. During this period, Gemini will realize that they are on the verge of a major change, not a dream, not a hope, but a real event that will shape their material foundation. In October, they will see results in one of the areas that previously seemed uncertain. And this unexpected profitability will be the beginning of rapid financial acceleration. As November approaches, Gemini will already be controlling such a powerful flow of events that every action will look like part of a well-thought-out multi-level plan. In November, there will be a clash with a situation that will require a tough choice. This will be the moment when Gemini can either stabilize at a high income level, make a leap that could open the way to a $10 million scale. Their choice will be bold. They will go where most retreat, and that is why the result will exceed the usual ideas about financial possibilities. December will be the month when the system that the twins have been building all year will start to work autonomously. Financial flows will reach a stable level that will not depend on their daily participation. It is then that they will realize that their path to big capital is not a coincidence or luck, but the result of consistent decisions, incredible adaptability, and the ability to see more than superficial logic allows. Their strength lies in their speed of thought, scale of vision, and flexibility, which turns chaos into opportunity. The twins' financial breakthrough in 2026 will be an example of how economic reality can completely change when a person is able to think quickly and act outside the box. They will be able to combine intelligence, communication, intuition, and strategy in such a way that material success will cease to be a dream and become a calculable resource. Their path will lead them to a sum that previously seemed unrealistic, but will now become the logical result of a correctly chosen trajectory. Cancer. In the first weeks of the year, Cancer will feel a shift in their inner layers, as if the ground beneath their feet is slowly but surely changing direction. This feeling will not be similar to anxiety. It will manifest itself as deep concentration, when every little thing will begin to seem like part of a major financial transition. In January, Cancer will notice a sharp increase in intuition. Any detail, any word, even an ordinary situation that others will not notice, will become a signal for them that space is preparing a major shift in their material reality. In February, the first confirmation will come, a circumstance that will initially seem random, but will later become the entry point into a process that will lead them to a financial sum capable of radically changing the entire future trajectory of their life. In March, Cancer will feel the activity around them intensify. People they have known for a long time will start to get in touch, offering cooperation, support. New contacts will appear unexpectedly, but each of them will be significant. During this period, Cancer will realize that they can no longer act defensively. It is time to move on to precise financial decisions based on their strong analytical ability to notice hidden benefits. This is where a key resource will appear, information that they will receive through trust, not through struggle. This information will open up a perspective for them that will become the foundation for future profits. In April, Cancer will begin to analyze their own projects and realize that one of the areas that previously seemed secondary is beginning to gain weight. This area will open up financial potential that can expand exponentially. Cancer will see that investing time or resources in this segment will bring him much more than he expected. In May, a situation will arise that will require him to react quickly, but this reaction will be the turning point of a financial wave. His decision will be bold, and it is thanks to him that events will begin to move in the direction of the stable material growth. In June, Cancer will feel the first real cash boost. It will not be the end, but only the initial phase of a great rise. This income will confirm the correctness of their actions and push them to expand even more. It is in June that they will realize that financial reality has begun to work for them, not against them. In July, Cancer will face a challenge. They will have to choose between stability and an opportunity that seems risky. But it is in this opportunity that the mechanism for their breakthrough will be hidden. This choice will open the way to a direction where the scale of profit will exceed any usual financial limits. In August, Cancer will enter an active phase of growth. Their decisions will begin to yield results faster than they expected. Financial channels that were previously blocked or slow will open up with new vigor. They will notice that any initiative brings either direct profit or hidden benefits. In September, Cancer will be able to establish several important partnerships or agreements that will give them access to large-scale projects. During this period, they will discover the ability to see not individual elements, but the entire system as a whole, and this systematic approach will become their main financial tool. In October, Cancer will feel a strong increase in tension, but this tension will not be destructive. It will be a sign of a breakthrough. This month, they will be able to finalize one of the processes that has been in preparation for a long time. This process will bring them significant material returns, confirming that they are moving in exactly the right direction, which will lead them to a large sum of money. In November, they will see their results double. What used to take months will now bring profits 10 times faster. Their financial system will begin to operate by inertia, creating a stable and powerful flow. In December, Cancer will enter a phase of complete control over their own resources. They will realize that they are no longer dependent on external factors. Their success is based on analytical thinking, foresight, and the ability to act where others hesitate. They will see the structure of their income on a new scale, not as a set of separate streams, but as a single system capable of withstanding stress and constantly expanding. Their influence will become noticeable, and people who previously doubted their abilities will begin to turn to them for advice or cooperation. The key moment will come when Cancer realizes that his financial breakthrough is not related to risk or chance. It is the result of a combination of strategic behavior, clear intuition, and the ability to predict events long before they happen. This year will not just be a material success for him. He will feel that he has finally reached a level where money is no longer a goal, but a tool for managing reality. The amount that will be accumulated as a result of this year will not be symbolic or temporary. It will become the foundation that will allow Cancer to move into a completely different economic class. His path to 10 million will be calm but steady, powerful but without excessive emotion. He will see that each month was part of an algorithm that brought him to a level where financial stability ceases to be a challenge and becomes a natural state. Leo. In the first phase of the year, Leo will feel a sharp shift in his inner vector, as if events that have been accumulating for years will suddenly converge into a single strategic line. He will notice that the space reacts to him differently. People listen more attentively, situations unfold faster, and information comes in more accurately than ever. It is at this moment that a phrase from Nostradamus, which he once heard but did not give much thought to, will appear in his mind, that the bearer of the power of fire will 1 year receive power over the streams of abundance. This phrase will not be mystical to him, but rather an indicator that 2026 will create financial conditions for him that could lead to a scale that previously seemed unattainable. In January, Leo will encounter an event that will show that his influence is beginning to affect major processes. This could be a financial offer, a move to a higher professional segment, or contact with a person whose decision will determine the further development of Leo's sphere of activity. They will not seek out these events. They will find them. This is how Nostradamus described the moment when fire will rise without effort, hinting at those who move not because they want to go faster, but because other structures in the world are already preparing the way for them. In February, Leo will feel the scale of thinking around him begin to change. He will stop evaluating opportunities through the prism of past experiences. His consciousness will develop the ability to see not a single direction, but a large financial architecture, as if he were reading a diagram created especially for him. Average solutions will no longer suit him. They will raise the bar sharply and begin to act where others hesitate. It is in February that the financial segment associated with projects that were previously too cumbersome to implement will become active. Now they will see a clear algorithm in them. March will bring increased movement in their professional activities. This month, Leo will gain access to information or resources that were unavailable to him in previous years. This will not be a gift. It will be the result of his accumulated influence. Nostradamus hinted in his writings that it is the representatives of the element of fire who will gain the right to see what is hidden in the years of great transition. Leo will fully realize this aspect. He will understand where the hidden profits are, where there is an undiscovered market segment, where the opportunity is truly significant and not just attractive. The first financial shift will begin in April. Leo will receive a result in the form of profits that will differ from the usual amounts. This will not be a coincidence. It will be confirmation that the environment has already been restructured to suit his ambitions. During this period, he will become more rigorous in his choice of partnerships and more cold-hearted in his strategic decisions. His inner fire will become controllable, precise, and constructive. This is how the power Nostradamus wrote about works. He who possesses not the flame, but the ability to control it, will rise above others. Leo will begin to feel that he is rising. May will be the month when new cash flows begin to actively form around him. Some of them will appear unnoticed, others as large-scale projects. He will begin to interact with people who think in big categories. In every conversation, in every decision, even in small actions, Leo will feel the depth of movement. His voice will have influence, and his position will become the basis of trust. It is during this period that Nostradamus's prediction that one of the fiery ones will gather around him those who seek stability, and he will lead them on the path to prosperity, will come true. June will give Leo the opportunity to conclude or complete a deal that will give him financial autonomy. This is the moment when he will cease to depend on external factors. His income will begin to be generated not by events, but by systems that will work for him independently. This is the first wave of stable growth, and it will prove that Leo is on a trajectory that will lead him to a sum of 10 million. His influence will become a structure, not just a quality. In July, Leo will begin to feel increased tension. This will not be a danger, but a signal to focus. During this period, he will make a choice that will allow him to move towards maximum profit. This decision will seem too drastic to others, but Leo sees deeper. He realizes that the biggest money comes through precise, fast, strong movements that do not allow him to miss an opportunity. It is in July that he will begin to lay the foundation for the financial architecture that will determine his future trajectory. August will be a month of demonstrating strength. Leo will not just work, he will manage processes, control situation, and set the rules of the game. His financial flow will begin to accelerate, and his influence in the professional environment will become obvious even to those who have always underestimated him. Nostradamus mentioned that one of the signs of fire will become the center of monetary gravity, and August will be the period when Leo will experience this prophetic phrase in his own reality. In September, Leo will face a moment that will require strategic resolve. It may be a choice between two powerful directions, or between a safe path and a path that leads to enormous scale. Leo will choose the latter. They will not hide their ambitions, because it is these ambitions that open the door to a financial level where 10 million is no longer a dream, but a logical part of their natural potential. October will be a breakthrough point. This month, Leo will receive the greatest material result of the entire year. This will confirm that all his efforts, decisions, risks, and strategic steps were correct. His financial flow will gain strength, allowing him to move forward with confidence. This is the month Nostradamus wrote about. Fire will rise to the top and see the gates open. November will reinforce this success, turning it into a system that works without losses or failures. Leo will begin to manage several areas at once, but will not feel exhausted. On the contrary, their energy will only grow. Their influence in the financial environment will begin to go beyond the usual circle, forming a broader scale of recognition. December will end the year with deep material stability. Leo will see that his path has not only led to significant money, it has led to a new level of opportunities. Nostradamus predicted that in the year of the Great Transition, one of the heirs of fire will receive the power to control the flows of abundance. And it is Leo who will undoubtedly fulfill this prophecy. Virgo. In the first days of the year, Virgo will feel that her inner precision is turning into a force capable of changing the financial structures around her. It is as if every element that previously seemed chaotic will finally begin to fall into a clear sequence of events. In January, she will notice that her analytical skills are no longer just a character trait. They will become a tool of foresight that will allow her to see hidden financial flows long before they turn into real opportunities. It is at this time that Nostradamus's phrase, which once seemed too exaggerated to her, will come to life. He who possesses the mind of the earth will gain a material advantage over all others in the years of transition. In 2026, this phrase will become for her not a symbol, but a practical description of the events that will unfold. In February, Virgo will feel a shift in her professional sphere. Where previously there was a need to prove her competence, now there will be a need to manage processes. She will begin to receive offers that require not execution, but management. And it is here that she will feel that her logical approach is becoming the basis for building a large financial system. This month, a prospect will appear on the horizon that will open the way to a project or activity capable of generating large-scale profits. This will not be a chance encounter or a one-time idea. It will be the first step towards forming a material platform that will lead her to tens of millions. In March, Virgo will see how knowledge, experience, and endurance suddenly begin to yield instant results. Events will unfold faster than she expected, and for the first time in a long time, she will allow herself to act not only rationally, but also intuitively. Nostradamus mentioned that in the year of great change, knowledge will become armor, and insight will become a sword. For Virgo, this will mean that she will begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It is in March that she will realize that her main asset is not resources, but the ability to read the logic of the world. April will be the month when Virgo takes a decisive step. An event that at first glance will seem insignificant will open up a channel of financial growth for her. She will gain access to a solution that will force her to change her approach to planning. If she previously built her strategies cautiously, now it will be worth acting more accurately, faster, and on a larger scale. It is this month that the first serious stream of profit will open up for her. This stream will not yet be at its peak, but it will become the impulse on which all subsequent financial waves will be superimposed. May will bring the Virgo a new level of control over events. Where she previously spent her energy on fine-tuning details, now a strategy will begin to work that will allow her to influence situations without undue stress. This month, she will come to understand that in order to gain significantly more, she needs to stop wasting her energy on trifles. It is then that Virgo will decide to participate in a direction that will initially seem too big. But as soon as she takes the first step, events will begin to expand her opportunities. In June, Virgo will receive confirmation that her path is leveling out. The financial result will be noticeable and stable. This will not be a one-time payment, but a foundation on which her material system will begin to grow. She will feel that her influence in the professional sphere is growing, and people who previously underestimated her will now begin to listen. It is in this month that the first hints will appear that the amount she is moving towards is not measured in thousands or hundreds of thousands. We are talking about millions that are becoming a reality. In July, Virgo will face a choice that will determine her future path. One direction will be safe, predictable, and stable. The other will be difficult and ambitious, but it will open the door to large financial cycles. It is here that she will remember Nostradamus's prediction that in the years of heavenly transition, the earthly sign will rise higher through courage rather than prudence. Virgo will make a choice that will surprise even herself. She will choose the path of scaling. In August, Virgo will see the first sharp jump in income. Events will begin to develop at such a pace that she will feel that restrictions no longer apply. Her work, knowledge, connections, and authority will all begin to yield results that were difficult to imagine. At this time, she will begin to manage not processes, but flows, and it is this ability that will lead her to the next stage, work on a scale she never even dreamed of. September will be the month of greatest concentration. Virgo will realize that she is on the verge of a financial breakthrough, and it is during this period that she will discover her ability to make decisions with their absolute precision. Her intellectual resources will be fully revealed, and no detail will escape her attention. Those around her will see her as a leader, and this will give her access to an opportunity that will be the most profitable in 2026. In October, Virgo will feel how the system she has been working on begins to operate autonomously. The funds coming in will exceed expectations. This will be the moment when she realizes that Nostradamus's prediction about an earthly sign that will rise above limitations applies to her. Her financial flow will become so strong that no external circumstances will be able to stop it. In November, an opportunity will arise that will allow her to increase her capital many times over. This will not be a risk. It will be the result of her consistency, professionalism, and ability to work harder than others. She will make this decision without hesitation, and it will be the mechanism for her final rise. December will end her year in a state where the Virgo will see that her path has led her to a material sum that will determine her entire future life. 10 million will cease to be a number. It will become a tool with which she will create her own financial system of a new level. Libra. In the first hours of the new year, Libras will feel a change that will arise not in the outside world, but in the very structure of their thinking. Their usual analysis will suddenly become more precise than ever before, as if someone has carefully enhanced their ability to see cause and effect relationships. In January, they will notice that events respond to their decisions faster than before. Any action will have an immediate response, and words will have a weight that cannot be ignored. At this time, Libras will involuntarily recall Nostradamus's phrase about those who stand between two forces and find the key to balance that unlocks treasures. In 2026, Libras will embody this formula. Their ability to balance will bring a financial breakthrough that will eventually reach tens of millions. In February, Libras will find themselves in a situation where they will need to quickly change their professional or financial direction. What was previously a side project will suddenly begin to gain momentum. They will have the opportunity to access a project that at first glance will seem difficult, but will have enormous profit potential. This month, Libras will realize that their strength lies not in straightforwardness, but in the ability to see two realities at once, one that others see and one that is hidden. Nostradamus mentioned a sign of air that will rise to a height after seeing a double road. In February, they will notice this road and choose the right one. March will bring a sharp increase in social contacts. People with whom Libras have not communicated for a long time will suddenly begin to appear in their lives, bringing important information, offers, or news that will open up future opportunities. Libras will realize that their communication skills are not just a trait, but a tool of influence. They will be able to turn a single conversation into a benefit and a single decision into a strategic advantage. It is in March that they will lay the foundation for their future financial success. In April, Libras will find themselves in a situation that will require precision and cold calculation. So the event that will appear on their path will be ambiguous. It will conceal both risks and enormous opportunities. This moment will be a turning point. Libras will stop doubting. They will act decisively and strategically, which will allow them to take a step towards a significant expansion of their financial flows. Nostradamus wrote that the sign that hesitates will find strength when it abandons its fear of choice. It is in April that Libras will abandon their fear. In May, their influence will begin to be felt much more strongly. Libras will enter a period when people will listen to them not because they have to, but because Libras will know more. At this time, an opportunity will arise that will allow them to gain control over a project or resource that will open the door to large-scale financial growth. In May, there will be the first feeling that things are moving in a direction that leads to a great material peak. June will be a month of stabilization. Libras will see that the efforts of recent months are beginning to bring systematic results. Financial inflows will become regular, and structures that previously required constant attention will now work independently. This will give Libras a sense of confidence and, at the same time, the freedom to think bigger. This month, for the first time, they will be able to afford to plan large investments or launch new ventures. This period will be a springboard for a leap that will be many times stronger than all the previous ones. In July, Libras will face a choice that will determine their path until the end of the year. One direction will be simple and predictable, the other, complex but extremely profitable. Their nature is usually inclined to seek harmony, but in July, they will see a clear advantage in the risky route. Nostradamus hinted that those who weigh the risk correctly will become the masters of two streams. In July, Libras will weigh the options and make their choice. This decision will change everything. August will be the month of the first big breakthrough. Financial flows will increase, and Libras will realize that they have finally entered a phase of rapid growth. They will not seek confirmation, they will act. In August, a powerful partner or structure will appear that will open the door to an even broader financial scale. In September, Libras will begin to work at a level that previously seemed beyond them. They will control several areas, and none of them will create overload. Their natural ability to balance will turn into a managerial instinct. This month, they will be able to conclude a deal or agreement that will bring large-scale, long-term profits. October will be a month of maximum power. Events will unfold as if the world is starting to work for Libras. Every decision Tibayan will bring profit. Every step will bring new opportunities. Libras will find themselves at a point where even small actions will have a big effect. This month will confirm Nostradamus's words that the sign of air will rise above the limitations of the material world. In November, an event will take place that will be crucial in financial terms. It will not be a random situation or a partial profit. It will be a major breakthrough that will dramatically increase their capital. The opportunity or result they receive in November will be the clearest confirmation that they have reached the financial peak of the year. December will end the period in which Libras will see that the path they have taken was not just successful, it was accurate. They will feel that their material system has become autonomous, powerful, and stable. The amount they receive as a result of 2026 will be a symbol of their ability to combine intuition, logic, and courage. Scorpio. At the beginning of the year, Scorpio will feel not just changes, they will feel pressure that seems to come from the depths of events that have not yet become reality. It will not be fear or doubt, but a keen sense of upward movement, as if their inner strength is awakening after a long wait. In January, they will notice how events begin to unfold around them, as if someone invisible is adjusting their trajectories. There will be hints that 2026 will be a key year for them in terms of a financial breakthrough, and this confidence will be so deep that they will not be able to ignore it. During this period, he will recall a phrase from Nostradamus that has always seemed most mysterious to him. The shadow sign, possessing the power of depth, will rise highest when the world sees two dawns. For Scorpio, these two dawns are a metaphor for two paths, from which he will choose the one that leads to big money. In February, his intuition will become sharply acute. Scorpio will notice indirect signals, double meanings, and hidden opportunities. It is this month that will reveal his ability to see situations differently from others. They will not ask questions or seek confirmation. They will simply know. And this accuracy will lead them to a decision that will be the first step on the path to a financial sum reaching the level of 10 million. In February, they may gain access to information that will change the outlook for the entire year. It will be either a contact, an offer, or an event that will require courage on their part. March will be a period of tension. Scorpio will feel as if the whole world is testing his readiness for a major scale-up. What used to come easily will now require concentration. What seemed insignificant will suddenly be of crucial importance. This month, he may face the need to make a decision that will take him out of his comfort zone. Nostradamus spoke of Scorpio as a sign that will touch the bottom in order to rise twice as high. March will be that bottom, but not in the sense of a fall, but in the sense of a leap. It is then that Scorpio will see how much stronger they are than their own fears. In April, the first real financial flow will begin to form. It will not yet be at its maximum, but it will be confirmation that the Scorpio is moving in the right direction. This month will open up an opportunity that will seem too big to be real. But they will understand that scale is not a challenge, but a characteristic of their nature. Scorpios never work for small things, and it is in April that they will see the real picture of their future prosperity for the first time. In May, a person or structure will appear that will be the key to further financial development. This contact or partnership will create an opportunity for big actions. Scorpio will understand that this opportunity is not accidental. It is part of a large movement that has been forming around him since the beginning of the year. He will become the center of attention, and the decisions he makes in May will affect his capital for many months to come. During this period, he will begin to work with energy that drives not individual processes, but entire systems. June will be a month of profound revelation. At this time, Scorpio will realize that their influence is much greater than they thought. Their ability to get to the heart of events will become critical in a financial sense. They will see which projects are worth continuing, which ones to close, where to invest, and where not to. In June, one of the most profitable areas of the year will open up, and Scorpios will be able to take advantage of it. They will need determination, but they will have it. In July, their actions will become more acute. Scorpios will not avoid risk, but they will not rush into it without analysis. They will act as a strategist who sees several steps ahead. Their decision will bring the first major financial breakthrough. In July, they will see results that will give them their first taste of reaching the $1 million level. This month, they will begin to rise so quickly that others will not have time to understand how they are doing it. August will be a turning point. It will be the month when the Scorpio sees that his system works almost autonomously. He will control the flows rather than depend on them. In August, a second major financial breakthrough is possible, not accidental, but the result of the work he has been doing since spring. Nostradamus predicted that those who dive into the depths of the world will get the most valuable things. And it is in August that Scorpios will feel that they have gained access to their depths, a source of stable and large-scale income. In September, their intuition will become almost infallible. They will sense which actions lead to profit and which lead to chaos. This will be the month when they can make the most strategic investment of the year. This investment will become the foundation on which their entire financial empire will later be built. In September, Scorpios will be at their peak of inner strength. October will bring an event that will shape the final breakthrough. It could be a large-scale deal, a lucrative contract, a sale, or the launch of a project that will yield unprecedented financial results. Scorpio will enter a period when money will start coming in faster than they can keep track of it. This will be the month that confirms that they have achieved what Nostradamus wrote about in his dark quatrains: power over the hidden gold of the world. In November, their income will double. Situations that previously seemed risky will now bring stable profits. Scorpios will become a center of gravity for people, events, and opportunities. Their financial system will no longer operate on a normal scale. It will move into the category of big capital. In December, they will reach the peak that they have been climbing towards for many months. Their year will end with absolute material power. 10 million will not be their ceiling. It will become the foundation from which they will begin to move forward. Sagittarius. At the very beginning of the year, Sagittarius will feel that inner impulse that arises only before great events. Not confusion, not anxiety, but a precise premonition of movement forward, as if somewhere in the depths of his consciousness, an invisible scenario is unfolding in which he is already standing on a new financial level. In January, they will begin to notice signs that previously meant nothing to them. Random words, new faces, unplanned contacts. Everything will form a single logic. It is then that Nostradamus's prediction about an arrow that will pierce the veil of restrictions in the year of change will come to mind. This will not be a metaphor, but a description of the events he will be involved in from the first weeks of the year. In February, Sagittarius will find himself in a situation where his determination will be decisive. It will not be enough to just move forward. He will need to take a step that will break his usual trajectory. Opportunity unlike any other will appear on the horizon. It will require courage on his part, not to take reckless risks, but to enter into a situation that could completely transform his financial life. This month, he will realize that his nature is not caution, but breakthrough. And it is thanks to this realization that he will gain the first key to further growth. March will be the month when events begin to catch up with his speed of thinking. Sagittarius will see that once chaotic processes are coming together into a large-scale picture, new directions will open up, some professional, others financial, and still others informational, giving him access to what was hidden. Nostradamus wrote about the traveler of fire who will find his way in the darkness when others stand still. In March, Sagittarius will begin to move along this path, quickly, accurately, without looking back. In April, they will receive the first tangible result. A financial event that they have long awaited or did not even suspect will finally manifest itself. And it will not be just profit or growth. It will be confirmation that their year has a special trajectory. During this period, they may realize that a certain direction, which once seemed insignificant, has enormous potential. This is where the birth of their great material system will begin. May will create conditions in which Sagittarius will be forced to take responsibility for large volumes of decisions. This is not pressure or coercion. It is a transition to a scale that corresponds to his natural strength. He will begin to manage processes rather than adapt to them. In May, a prospect will open up that can take him to another level of prosperity. And that's when he'll realize that he's no longer following events. Events are following him. In June, Sagittarius will enter one of the most powerful periods of the year. This is where the breakthrough will happen, which will be the starting point for the formation of his future capital. Financial flows will begin to grow faster than he expected. He may receive an offer or contact that will open up a channel of high income. His determination, strategic thinking, and ability to act without hesitation will be what determines his first material leap. July will be a month of expansion. Sagittarius will feel that his financial influence is no longer local. He will enter a sphere where decisions have far-reaching consequences. Interactions with people will become a tool through which he can multiply his resources. Nostradamus mentioned the one who will carry the light beyond the borders, and July will be the time when Sagittarius will truly break through borders, his own and those of others. In August, he will face an event that will require maximum concentration and strategic thinking. This will be the moment when fate tests his readiness to manage large financial sums. The decisions made in August will affect his income throughout the year, and if he makes the right choice, and he will, a real financial boom will begin. September will be a period of steady growth. He will not just stay the course, he will begin to see the next levels. Money will come in systematically, and opportunities will come at the right moment. His intuition will become almost infallible, and his actions will be deeply calculated. Sagittarius will feel the world opening doors for him that were closed to others. October will bring a moment that can be called a turning point. Sagittarius will achieve a result that will be the strongest proof that his path leads to big capital. His projects or activities will enter a phase of high returns. He will stand at the top, but it will not be the peak of the year. It will only be the middle. November will reinforce everything he has achieved. Income will grow, opportunities will expand, and time will work in his favor. People, events, information, every element will support his progress. In Chatnaut, November, Sagittarius will be able to conclude a deal that will become one of the most important in his financial history. Capricorn. At the beginning of the year, Capricorn will feel an unusual inner silence, which always hides a big event. Not calm, but the silence of power, the kind that arises before the moment when the world ceases to resist and begins to move in a direction that has long been determined. In January, they will feel as if the structure of the ground is changing under their feet. Old restrictions no longer hold, and new opportunities appear where there used to be deaf walls. It is then that Nostradamus's prediction of an earthly sign that will break its own stone and become higher than the mountains will come to mind. Capricorn will see in these words not a symbol, but a mirror, because 2026 will open up a scale before him that will exceed not only expectations, but also previous ideas about limits. In February, he will encounter the first event that will begin to shift the financial landscape. It could be an offer, a new responsibility, a change of position, or a contact that previously seemed unnecessary. Now this contact will open the door to a system where big money works. Capricorn will feel that his character, strategic, cold, without emotional fluctuations, is becoming the key to large-scale decisions. He will enter the February period not as an executor, but as the one who controls the trajectory of events. March will reinforce everything they started in the first 2 months. During this period, Capricorns will see that their influence is growing not by chance, but thanks to the patterns they have long been building. In March, they will realize that every action, even those they once considered insignificant, will now bring tangible results. Nostradamus wrote about a sign that will rise when the world seeks support, and March will be the moment when Capricorn feels like that support. Their decisions will become the force that stabilizes everything around them. In April, an opportunity will appear on the horizon that at first glance will seem unattainable. But Capricorn will not perceive it as a risk. They will see it as a structure, clear, complex, but logical. And when they start moving, events will unfold as if someone had been waiting for them to enter this sector for a long time. In April, they will experience their first real financial leap. It will not be a peak, but confirmation that the year is under their energy. May will be a month of great concentration. Capricorns will be forced to discard everything superfluous: old approaches, unnecessary connections, ineffective projects. They will understand that nothing should interfere with their movement. In May, they will make a decision that will be fundamental, not only for 2026, but also for the years to come. Their financial system will begin to take shape, and they will see the first framework of capital that will eventually grow to tens of millions. In June, Capricorns will enter one of the most important periods of the year. It is this month that he will feel external circumstances adjusting to his internal pace. There will be a moment when one deal, one project, or one contact will change his financial status. Nostradamus wrote in his hints about the turning point of the Earth sign, and June will be just such a point. Money will start flowing to them faster than they expected, and this will only be the beginning of a great financial season. In July, they will face a challenge that will test their strength. But Capricorns are not afraid of complexity. On the contrary, they thrive in complexity. Where others retreat, he will go on the offensive. And it is this decision that will lead to an event that will significantly increase his profits. July will be the month when he realizes that control is not about tension, but about precision. And this precision will open up streams that will work for him. August will bring structure to his finances. If his profits used to come in waves, now they will become systematic. Capricorn will see his status change. He is no longer just a participant in financial processes. He is their architect. In August, he may sign or complete a deal that will be the most profitable in the second half of the year. In September, their analytical skills will reach their peak. They will be able to see the strengths and weaknesses of any process. And it is thanks to this that they will make an investment or strategic move that will have long-term consequences. September will become a month in which growth will take on a geometric character. Capricorn's capital will begin to multiply faster than he can control. But this is precisely his strength, managing what others see as chaos. October will be the most dynamic month of the year. This is the period when Capricorn will see the real scale of his actions. The financial results will not just be big, they will be record-breaking. They will feel confident that the breakthrough cannot be stopped. Events will develop so rapidly that they will sometimes not have time to comprehend them, but each of them will work towards their financial growth. November will lead to an even greater increase in scale. Capricorns will enter a phase that can be called material autonomy. Their system will begin to function without their direct involvement. Money will come in through the processes they created earlier, and this will be enough for their capital to grow every day. This will be the moment when they realize that their purpose is to manage large resources. December will end the year with absolute power over material reality. Capricorns will sense that they are standing on the summit they have been building for years. But 2026 will be the year when the summit becomes a platform for further growth. 10 million will become not a goal, but a tool. And it is in December that he will realize that for the first time, he is not just controlling his own financial path, he is shaping it as Nostradamus once predicted. Aquarius. At the beginning of the year, Aquarius will find themselves in a state that is difficult to explain logically. It is as if the future will begin to awaken in them faster than they can keep up. This will not be chaos, rather a premonition that space is being restructured to match his inner frequency. In January, he will feel a shift in his thinking, in the pace of his actions, in his perception of resources. What used to take time will now open up instantly. And at that very moment, a phrase from Nostradamus that Aquarius once read but did not pay attention to will come to mind. He who sees where others see nothing will receive the key to great flows. In 2026, this key will be in their hands. In February, Aquarius will encounter an event that will initially seem inconvenient, but in essence will mark the beginning of a financial upswing. It could be a new project, a change in partnership, or information that will radically change his perception of opportunities. This month, they will begin to notice structures that are hidden from others, weaknesses in the markets, entry points into large-scale flows, and non-standard solutions that allow them to seize what most people miss. Their intellect, which has always been several steps ahead, will become a breakthrough tool in February. March will amplify everything he has begun to feel before. At this time, Aquarius will understand that the world is no longer linear. Events will overlap, opening up several directions at once, and he will be the one who is able to manage this multi-layeredness. In March, he will gain access to a person, decision, or resource that will open the first financial channel of the year. Nostradamus wrote, "The ruler of the air will master chaos, and chaos will become his ladder." For Aquarius, this will be a literal prophecy. It is the chaotic events of March that will lead him to his first major material milestone. In April, a real growth pattern will begin to take shape. They will see that one of the directions that seemed experimental to them suddenly reaches a new level. This month will give them their first tangible financial gain. Not the maximum, but enough to show that their thinking is working in the right format. In April, Aquarius will begin to reject old approaches that have held back his potential. He will act differently than others expect, and this will be his advantage. May will create conditions for rapid expansion. Aquarius will start working in several directions at once, but without compromising quality. During this period, they will understand how strongly their intuition is intertwined with their analytical skills. The decisions they make will be based on invisible patterns that they will read unerringly. In May, a contact or agreement is possible that will open up access to a sector of large profits. In June, Aquarius will enter a stage when his ideas will begin to materialize at an incredible speed. This month, he may receive an offer that at first seems too big, but in fact will be the perfect answer to his potential. This is the period when they will feel the power of financial inertia for the first time, when they are not moving the system, but the system is starting to move them. Nostradamus wrote about a sign that will be carried by the wind of change, not by their own hands. June will be just such a wind. In July, Aquarius will face an important choice: to maintain stability or to rise higher than common sense allows. This choice will be critical, but Aquarius will act as only he can, relying not on fear, but on his vision of the big picture. And it is this movement that will mark the beginning of the most powerful wave of the year. In August, their financial reality will expand dramatically. What they started during the first 7 months will begin to work in sync. Money will come from several sources, and opportunities will arise sooner than they planned. August will be the month that moves him into the category of people whose decisions influence the structure of events, rather than the other way around. September will sharpen his thinking to the limit. At this time, Aquarius will take a step that will determine his material status for years to come. This could be an investment, a partnership, or a financial launch that will turn streams into an avalanche. His confidence, which was previously intellectual, will become an inner strength in September that needs no proof. October will be a month of events that would cause panic in others, but in Aquarius, absolute clarity. That is when the world will seem to tilt in his favor. Opportunities that were hidden will suddenly appear. He will receive a financial result that will confirm his special year. Nostradamus called this period an explosion of air power. For Aquarius, October will be a moment of explosive financial growth. In November, they will find themselves at a height where money ceases to be a problem and begins to be an instrument of influence. This month, Aquarius will be able to complete the process that will take them to a new economic level. Their financial system will become autonomous. It will work on its own, and they will only need to adjust the direction. December will end the year with a huge result. Aquarius will see that their path in 2026 was not simply growth, but a transformation of scale. They will gain access to a sum that will be the answer to Nostradamus's prophecy about a sign rising above the world through the power of the mind. Pisces. At the very beginning of the year, Pisces will feel an unusual tension that will not be accompanied by anxiety. It will be the calm before a big change, as if the world is holding its breath, preparing to clear the way for them that has long remained closed. In January, they will notice that their intuition, which has always been their strength, will intensify to such an extent that it will border on foresight. Pisces will begin to pick up on signals that others do not notice, hints in words, symbols in events, subtexts in interactions. This will be the beginning of their entry into the financial year that Nostradamus described as the time of those who see the unobvious and find gold where others see only water. In 2026, these words will come true for Pisces. In February, their lives will take their first sharp turn. An opportunity will arise that at first glance will seem unstable, but deep down will hold enormous potential. Pisces will sense that this is no coincidence. An event or offer that seems too strange for a rational mind will sound like a clear sign to move forward in their consciousness. They will take the courage to take a step that others do not have the talent to take. And it is this step that will open their first access to future big money. March will be a month of profound revelation. Pisces will begin to intuitively reach out to people and situations on which their financial path will depend. They will see subtle connections between events and feel that the space is responding to their intentions. At this time, they will understand why Nostradamus wrote about a deep sign that will lift the fog and see the way before everyone else. March will be the period when Pisces will find the first real direction that can lead them to material success. In April, they will feel a strong push from external forces. Events will move faster than they expected. Pisces may receive an unexpected contact or opportunity that will come from a direction that previously seemed unpromising. And it is in this inconspicuous direction that they will find the potential to grow to a level that will determine their position in the coming years. April will be the month of the first material result. It will not be loud, but it will be the beginning of a movement towards a large sum. In May, Pisces will find themselves at a point where their intuition and analytical skills will merge into a single force. They will be able to read the intentions of others and predict events with such accuracy that it will impress even themselves. During this period, they will start a project or enter a direction that will be key to their financial prosperity. May will be the month in which Pisces begin to build a structure that will ensure their stable growth. In June, they will experience their first real breakthrough. Money or opportunities will come at the right moment, as if the world is trying to synchronize with their inner rhythm. Pisces will receive confirmation that their path is moving in the direction that Nostradamus referred to as the supremacy of water over land. In June, they will see their potential begin to turn into real capital. In July, they will face a situation that will require precision and a firm stance. This will not be a conflict, but a moment when Pisces will have to defend their own space. They will do so quietly but unyieldingly. And it is this decision that will allow them to enter August with complete control over their own trajectory. August will be the month of their strategic awakening. Pisces will see that they can influence events, not just react to them. This month, they will make a decision that will lead to a sharp financial upturn in the fall. It could be an investment, a change of location, or the launch of a new process. August will be a stage when Pisces will begin to feel power over what previously seemed chaotic. September will be a period of acceleration. The smallest movement will begin to yield big results. Pisces will see that their work, ideas, or way of thinking are becoming valuable to others. It is in September that they may conclude a deal or receive income that will be significant for the first time, indicating their movement toward the million-dollar level. October will be a month of profound power. Pisces will enter a phase where events will work in their favor, not against them. The world will give them an opportunity that will bring the greatest profit of the whole year. It will be a turning point that will change the size of their capital. They will begin to see the perspective a few steps ahead, and each step will be accurate. In November, their intellect and intuition will work together with incredible precision. At this time, an event will occur that will bring a sharp increase in income. This will be the moment when Pisces realize that they are on the verge of a financial breakthrough that will change everything. They will see how resources move and understand that they are capable of managing them without resistance. December will end their journey at the highest point. 2026 will be the year when Pisces transition from being observers to creators of their own financial reality. The amount that appears in their lives will show that their vision has always been deeper than the surface, and their path has been broader than the limits they imagined. And this is how Nostradamus's prophecy about a sign that will raise water to the sky and find gold in the waves will come true.